Hey guys, welcome back to Vintage Vibes. Today is Tuesday and it's around 4:30, and I am on here with a requested tutorial. Somebody requested that I would show them how to make a bead dangle, which I've already made one, my first one. That I got my things from the Happy Crafter shop. Okay. So I'm going to attempt to do a tutorial on it. So hopefully we can get through it. But you got to, my first suggestion would be to make sure you have some needle nose pliers, okay? And it helps if you have a bead-along tool, okay? This is called Bead-along, and I got mine on Amazon, okay? So if you don't have one of those, just go look on Amazon, but it's helped me tremendously with do beads because I do not have the pliers, the round nose pliers that you can wrap the bead things with, and I want to get some of those because it would probably keep me from wasting a lot of my head pins. And the head pins that I'm using are the Bead Landings head pins. Okay, they're 72Ps. I like these. And Michael's, I believe, is where I bought these. Okay, so and then you're gonna need some jump rings, and this was a Hildy and Joe set that I got from Joanne. So I'm gonna use these gold jump rings that's in here, various beads. And I've already got a bunch of them already made up for the dangle to save time on this video. But you just pick random colors, like I still have some more left on my tray, okay? And you just kind of, and I got some of the little seed beads out of here, the little teddy bear, come out of this kit that I got from Hobby Lobby, okay, that I picked up, okay? So, just kind of be aware of your bead color mix, okay? You want to make sure that you know, you're going with a lemon. So I'm doing a lemon dangle today that I got from Happy Crafter shop, okay? And I'm gonna put this little orange charm on the bottom of it, okay? But you can go from the top or the bottom, it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna show you a little trick too, and I may not do it this way today, but I'm going to show you kind of how you can set up your dangle, okay, if that makes any sense to you, okay? So what I want to do is I'm going to, this is just an example, you don't have to do this. You can just kind of randomly put them on, but I kind of just know that I'm going to put that one at the bottom like that, you know, probably the second one down, because I don't really want it to cover up my lemon too terribly much, okay? Now, what I like to do, honestly, and sometimes I'll take a picture of it too, okay? But you can start by thinking, well, I'm going to add this at the top, because I always add like a little charm at the top that kind of goes or matches. Your colors are going to blend. You think about lemons and lemonade and like the green leaves on top. Put a bold color with it to match it. That's something. And then play off of those colors and get your beads from. You can use any various sizes of beads. I just had a bunch and I put a whole ton together, as you can see in my little tray. So I just started building on colors. Like literally there's no rhyme or reason or wrong way to build your colors, okay? So you just want some pops of color in there, some different sets of beads. If you got chunkier ones, you'd probably want to lean maybe toward putting them more at the bottom. That's just totally up to you how you want to do this. But I just kind of randomly start picking, you know, and see where I'm going with this. And it may fall like this, but once you pick it up, it's going to go all over the place, okay? So it doesn't really matter. There's really no rhyme or reason. I got this cute little block. So I may stick this one on down here somewhere. And it just kind of depends. If I don't think it's going to work, I won't put it. I'll take it back off. You know what I'm saying? And here's another thing. Do you see how close that yellow is to that one? I kind of try to space out my colors, if that makes any sense whatsoever to you. This is just how I do with anything that I make, from scrapbooking things to making junk journals, mini albums. I try to think of my colors, and kind of like, you kind of sometimes want the same colors together, and then sometimes you don't want them, in this case, kind of together. So if I would probably stick maybe that up there at the top, you know, and this is a different color all together. Different style, different color. You just want to kind of go back and forth with your things, whatever looks good. You can either start from the bottom, work your way up, or the top, work your way down. Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to bead without the round nose pliers too. Okay, I'm going to try to show you that. So I've got some beads right here on my little tray that I had already picked out for a set. This was my last one I was going to make. So you just take a head pin, basically. And I got two of the little gold things. So you're gonna need something to stop it from getting off the head pin, because some of the beads are bigger than the end of the head pin. Okay, so you're going to want is this or a little seed bead, which is really tiny little beads, but they do work, if you can see that in my hand. But they do stop the bead from going off the edge of that, because some of the holes on beads are bigger. Okay, so I got the little gold bead, okay, and then the next thing I'm going to put is my orange one that I wanted on it, okay. I thought that one was really pretty, okay, and then I'm going to add like my yellow bead, okay. And then I'm going to put another gold bead, because I want a little bit of separation in it, okay. And then I'm going to take my smaller round bead. Okay, now you see how I kind of did that, okay. If you can see that. Okay, I thought that looked pretty cool. So, and when you get ready to use the beadle, I'm fixing to show you what you need to do to use it. And you got to have a pretty long head pin to use that, because it has to go across it. Okay, so what I do is I like to take my thumb, put it on the bottom, and then take my two fingers and hold this one snug, just like that. Okay, and then when you pick up this beadle on, you see how it has there's a little hole on that side, where you're going to be aiming for that hole, okay? So we're going to stick that up in there, and we're going to keep holding it, and you're going to stop it about right there at that edge. Do you see how that stopped at that edge? And all you do is squeeze it, y'all. Literally, it makes your top piece. Do you see how it just goes around that? And you just let it go. This little wire should pull out. You might have to loosen it. Just pull out it. And then you just take this, and all I do is turn it upside down, and I just do it like that, and it'll let it go, basically. Okay, so you got this one made. See, so this helps when you don't have the little rolled pliers to do, you know. But if you wanted to use shorter head pins, you're gonna need some of those round pliers to turn it with, to turn the little head pin piece to make it, maybe a couple loops. Because, you know, a lot of people do it that way too, okay? So, what I'm going to do is just randomly start showing you how to do this. And if this video starts getting like to the 30 minute mark, what I would do is I'll do 2 parts, because, you know, it's getting closer to 5 o'clock. So, I just wanted to, because I haven't had time to get back on here today, but this afternoon, it's like a perfect time to do this for a few minutes. So let's start, and what I want to do is I'm just going to take my jump ring, okay, and I'm going to take my longer pliers and put them on that side. Then I'm going to take my other pliers and put them on this side, if I can catch it. Ooh, y'all, okay, what is wrong with me today? Maybe I got it wrong. Okay, and no, let me do it the other way. Ooh, this kind of little tedious thing, sometimes it makes me so nervous. No, smaller for me on that side. But you need something tough, because these jump rings here are pretty tough. So you just kind of open them. You just kind of twist them. You're just going to kind of twist it open. Now I'm doing that one pretty big because this charm piece is thick. Okay, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to just pick this up, and I just dropped that off of there, didn't I? And I'm just going to stick it to like the second one from there, okay? Yeah, and sometimes you can add other beads on here at the same time. But all you have to do, basically, I hope y'all can see this really well, is just kind of twist it back and forth, okay, until your two ends meet. Because do not try to push it together, because you can stab yourself. And that is not, I've done that before, and that really hurts. So just kind of keep just doing it back and forth, not, you know, just gently until you can get them to meet, okay? There we go. Now, and that way you're not trying to like stab yourself, you know, because I have done that, y'all. I have done that, and it really hurts, y'all. It really hurts. So see, so that's on there. It's not covering up too much of my lemon, so I like that. I really love this big old cubey bead, but I don't know if I'm gonna use it or not, because it may be too big, maybe too bulky, and I can use that on another project. Okay, so what I'm going to do is either you can go in the same loop and do something smaller, or find something bigger that you would like to put. But what I'm going to pick, I think, is, let's see, maybe that. But once it dangles down, it's going to be like that. So I want to like some color. You see how this is working for me? So I might do something smaller. So in this case, it's okay. I might do that, okay? And sometimes you can even undo your little ring and just attach it to there. I've done that before. I mean, I've basically have done that too. Okay, so I'm just going to take this ring, and I'm going to stick it on there. And if you don't like to do it, you can build it like I said, like, you know, and then just take it and put that on your little jump ring. And then just take this piece, y'all, and literally stick it to the other side. You know, and that's it. That's all you do. I mean, you got to build. Like, you got to just think about color and building. And you have to position your pliers and just kind of work with them. Yeah, and you just kind of keep twisting it until, yeah, and sometimes these jump rings here, they're tough. They're not playing. They hard to close. And you just kind of have to keep working them. I mean, they're not wanting to close. They want to be a little patooties today. But you see now. And that way you don't have to worry about them falling off or anything. So see, you just kind of start building colors, basically. And if something don't look right to you or hang right, you can turn it around. It's no big deal. It ain't, see, it could flop itself around. That's what they do. They kind of just go back and forth. See, so how pretty that's starting to look. Now, what I was talking about building, too, is you can take your colors and just start kind of randomly placing them in places. You know, like, these are so similar. I want to do something different type thing, you know. So I might want to put this little orange at the top. Maybe slap this one up in there, but that's too much yellow. I don't really like that. I got some little green and some little white clear that might be prettier. You see where I'm going with this? See? So kind of just start building that way, is what I do. I just kind of randomly, and I try to stay away from putting two of those like that together too. Yeah, I try not to do that, okay? So, we're going to build part of this, and then when I get to my 30-minute mark, I'm going to do part 1, and then we'll go back to part 2 after I get done with my cooking my supper tonight, okay? So, yes, like I said, I have random colors, basically, and I'm just going to kind of start just building it, y'all. You know, and it's harder to do this on camera because you got to hold it under the camera. It's easier to put this closer to your body to turn it and twist it. I mean, it literally is a lot easier, and don't ask me why, but it is. Okay, so I might just randomly stick one somewhere and see how it turns out. So let's do it that way. I mean, I might just do a random type thing, you know, because at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to matter much. You can do it however you want to build it. So I'm going to kind of put this one up in the middle, I think. Okay. And you just hang it. Just let it hang. Okay. Now I'm going to put this back and close it closer to me because it's easier to twist it. Okay. Yeah, because it's so much easier on me to twist it over here. Okay. Yeah, it is so much easier. It's just not wanting me to hold it good. Okay, I'm going to make sure I've got it pretty close to each other. You don't, yeah, see how it closed up on me. Okay. So you just kind of just randomly put and just make sure your colors are not together, y'all. I mean, it just really, and it's going to go back and forth like it's just going to do its own thing. I mean, it's literally going to hang the way it wants to hang. Okay, so this one has a jump ring already on it. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to go ahead and turn it open. Okay. If I can get it to cooperate. Okay, now this is what I was talking about. Do I have like a single bead? I do not. Okay, so what I would love to do with this one is take maybe a smaller bead that I have, okay, out of my tray, okay, and I'm hoping, yeah, see what I kind of want to do is put a pop of color up there with it. So what I think I'm going to do is take like this little, we're not going to use that head pin. All right, so I got this little gold, and it just depends on your mood, like how you feel, what color is speaking to you, but just kind of stay in the color family, you know what I'm saying. Put this little bead up here with this. Does that make sense? I just kind of want to do it, and I'm going to have to waste this because I do not have, and I'm just going to put these two little cute ones, okay? So I'm going to use my little beaded line thing again. You know, and you just literally stick it between there and just hold it and just turn it, y'all. That's it. That is so easy. Okay, and what I'm gonna do, you gotta kind of let it do it like that. I'm gonna stick this. Okay, let me get this picked back up so I don't lose it. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stick like, I'm going to stick this bead on this same loop with this little lemon, okay? Just because that's what I feel like doing. Okay? No rhyme or reason, y'all. And I'm going to stick it up here at the very top one. Okay. All right. And we're just going to twist it. Start twisting it and closing it up. Get it together. Yeah, this is the part that I don't like. I mean, I love beading, but it just makes me so nervous because it's so tedious. And you want to make sure that you get that closed up good because this is kind of small little stuff. Let me make sure I've got that closed up. It's not looking like I want it to. Yeah, you got to watch it because it'll get you. Okay, now you see how it's kind of coming together? Y'all look. But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's going to be so pretty. It's not going to matter. Like, as long as you kind of, like, keep your colors set. Because you don't want, like, 2 or 3 orange and then poo, 2 or 3 green. You want it to go back and forth, kind of with the colors, okay? Type thing, okay? So I'm going to take this one, and I think I'm going to go ahead and stick it about right there. Okay, does that make sense? And then what I'm going to do, and I'm going to show you what I do here. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. So see how I got my little beads already done and my little hook. Now this is tricky, yo. I'm going to tell you right now, this is very tricky. And this is where the round nose plier things will come in handy. But now I do use these. And I'll just open it up. If watch me not be able to do it today because I'm on camera, y'all. So I'll just stick it up in there like that in the middle. And I just pull up on it. You see how I just pulled up on that? Okay, I know it looks weird. But I'm just going to randomly stick it somewhere, like at the top. And then I'm going to just take these pliers and I'm going to stick them here right on the top of that. And I'm just going to twist it back down the best I can until I can get it to touch, okay? I mean, it's a trick to it, but you can do it. That's why the round nose are so important. You want to make sure that stays up in there, but you want to just keep pushing it until it touches that. And there you go. See? Now that's another trick that you can do, okay? And if you need to, you can just take it and kind of smash it a little bit with your pliers, but you know, you just have to be careful because it will get you. I mean, I'm telling y'all, I have gotten myself so many times, but I try not to do that. I try to just take my pliers and use those, see, like that. So, okay, so we got that part kind of going. And you see how it's coming together. So, I mean, once you lay it back down, you see how it's going to be so stinking cute. See there? Y'all, and these are fun to make. Like, I'm not lying to you. These are a lot of fun to make, but they are very tedious, okay? If you don't like doing tedious things, you know, I don't know, but sometimes it's hard. And it just depends. It just depends on what you like, what colors you like. Now, up here, I need another color. Okay. So, I'm going to open it up. I'm going to use this one with this little pearl on the top. You see that has like a little rhinestone bead on it. Yeah, you got to have a lot of patience with beading. I mean, I can't even stress it to you enough. You have to have a lot of patience. And you can go, like I said, you can do it any way you want to do it. No rhyme or reason, okay? There's no rhyme or reason. It really isn't. And if it don't look right to you, take it off and do something different with it. If that makes any sense. Yeah, these Hildy and Joe ones, they're tough. These things are thick. You know, they're a little bit too thick to me to work with, but that's what they had. And, you know, at the time when I bought them. And I do have some different ones, but I'm going to use up these. Okay, so that one's on there now. So see, now we're getting a little bit of a different vibe to it. Different little colors. Yeah, this is really pretty. This is going to be so cute. So we're already 23 minutes in, y'all. And these take a minute. Now, that's why I said you've got to have a lot of patience. And see, I thought that color was really pretty. Okay, and then I might want to come in and add me a white piece in here somewhere. Maybe up here. Okay, we'll probably do it about right there. All right, so let me get another jump ring. Yeah. And you say, well, why do you torture yourself with those thick jump rings? Yeah, well, I don't like to, but I kind of want to use them because these kind of need something sturdy, you know, for some support too. But, you know, so we're just going to pop it on there. And we're just going to randomly kind of pick up in the middle. I think is kind of where I want it to go. All right, so you just kind of go back and forth, literally is all you do. And you just stick it on there. You just put it on there. And you just kind of twist it, and I got to get it close to me because I cannot. Oh my gosh, it don't want to cooperate today. There we go. Come on, twist to it. There we go. All right, so that one's on there, y'all. Yeah, I mean, it's starting to come together. You see how pretty it's starting to look? And see, your beads wop. I mean, they flop over. They got a mind of their own. They kind of do what they want. So you kind of go, like, try to fix them back. Like, you just kind of have to. And that's the only thing. It can be a little pain in the boo-wah, okay? But it starts to come together. It starts being really, really pretty. Okay. And I always say pick your battles because, you know, and you don't want to use like all your like specialty random beads. Like you want to make sure you space out things, okay? Now I think it needs a touch of gold in it somewhere. So I'm going to go ahead and put this white and gold one like right up there. Now, sometimes you might say this looks chaotic, but for me, it's not. So, because you can always pull it up and let the others fall to put it where you want it. I mean, some people like to go from bottom to top all the way up and then top to bottom. But I just like to kind of do what I'm seeing in my mind, if that makes any sense. Like I try to do it the way it makes sense to me. And so if I had to give you a piece of advice, I would probably say do it for your way to do that too. So I just kind of look at it and I'll say, well, I want this length right here. So I'll just grab it, y'all. And yes, it kind of gets a little bit monotonous, but you can hold it up too. Like you can hold it and say, oh, I think I'm going to stick it right there, you know, type thing. So yeah, so as long as you're not kind of putting it. But anyway, I was going to tell y'all today I had to go take Jaden to physical therapy, but poor baby, he's been through so much. Well, he's got some ulcers in his mouth, and he was so stressed out over these ulcers that he didn't even want to go to physical therapy today. Like, and you know, if you don't go, they'll like drop you. You know, and I told him, I said, Jaden, you got to do your physical, but he has just been going so long that he's so tired of doing physical therapy. You know, and I don't blame the baby. I really don't. But I have to push him, y'all. Like, I have to tell him, you know, this is good for you. It's better, you know, you're going to be better once you keep doing it. So I may come back with my little cube. You see that now, how that's coming together? I really am liking the cube. I love the cube. But I might just hook it and not have it so bulky hanging. So let me see if I can make that work. So I'm just going to untwist it. Okay. And I hope I don't lose my seed bead. I do not want to lose my seed bead. Do I want that there or up there? I think I want it up here. Okay, you see how I'm going to catch that link? I'm going to carefully try to catch that link, y'all. Okay. But that little baby, he needs a lot of prayer, y'all, because he's so tired. He's so tired of doing things. He's so, you know, he's at that point to where he's had all these surgeries and he's just still having a hard time, and, you know, and it just kind of wears on him. He said, I just want a day off, and, you know, but he gets days off, you know, but he just wants all the days. He wants all the days off. Yeah, and I dropped it. Of course I did. Okay, so like I said, patience is a virtue. You gotta have a lot. I promise you. You gotta have a lot with anything in life, but you know, especially this, because this is kind of like, and you gotta keep up with your sides, like where's it going, like what goes where, like what's looking right, like where did I put that? you gotta be thinking along the whole time on this. Okay, so you see I dropped it, right? I dropped it, and it's not always good to open that up and do that, but that's what I want to do, and I'm so stubborn that I will work it out, y'all. I just don't want to lose my seed bead, so I'm gonna have to try this again. I dropped it. Of course, you know me, I'm going to drop something. But anyway, I'm going to make some chicken Alfredo for supper tonight. Hopefully, I can get this done a pretty good bit before we have to get off. And what I might do is just finish it off camera and come back and, you know, show y'all the rest of it. So, but I did want to get started on it at least, because I kind of, you know, there's so many things I want to do. Like, there's so many. Okay, so we're getting it. It's just taking a minute to get it. And that's the thing about the roll pliers. It makes your life so much easier. I'm not going to get me some this weekend. I just haven't had time to really get out and get any. You know, especially since I'm back into doing this kind of stuff, because I used to do all kinds of jewelry a long time ago, but I've never had those pliers like ever. Okay, so it's on there now. But when it comes to doing this kind of stuff, you're gonna have to have patience, and I can't stress that enough. I like literally cannot stress that enough. You got to find some patience, even though it's not always gonna be easy to do that. Okay, so I think I've got it going kind of like this, y'all. You see there? Now, what do you think so far? Isn't that pretty? That's pretty. Okay, well, we're at the 30-minute and something mark. So, and I got a lot more that I want to add. You see all that? So what I'll probably do is I will go start my supper. And I will add a few more off camera, and then I'll add a few back on camera to kind of make the videos not quite as long, okay? Because I still have a lot more, and I got this cute little bear that I want to put on there. He's so cute. I got him out of that little kit that I got from Hobby Lobby, y'all. These got little bears and stuff in them, and this little thing. So this is fun. This is fun. So, anyway, so I pray you have a nice afternoon. I will get back on here after a while and finish up. But remember, I love you, but God loves you more. Bye.